So I think it's a good opportunity to take, like, usually we take patron questions at the end, but this one I think ties into the discussion. So our patron Al says, what does Real Madrid miss when Benzema is not in the starting 11? And I just think, like you mentioned, Mariano had 18 touches today. You look at his heat map, and again, like he might as well not have been there. Now, like if he actually keeps himself on side and scores those 2 goals, we're having a different discussion, because that's really all he needs to do. You don't need to be like, this is the art of Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Like in games where you couldn't notice him on the field much, he could still pop up and score a couple goals because he could stay warm. He didn't get cold in those situations, and his off-ball movement was insane. So if Mariano actually scores those 2 goals, or at least gets one of them right with his runs, and he scores, it's a different discussion. I just think, like, if you don't have that person, like if Benzema would have played this game over Mariano, the difference in the heat map I think would have been dramatic. I think we would have been gone from 18 touches to perhaps something like 40, 50 touches, because he probably would have played the full 90. Mariano came off after 65 minutes. But I think at halftime alone, he would have had more than 18 touches. And he's kind of the one who connects the dots. He's the binding agent of the transition offense. So if you don't have that in a game like this, like now, Zidane did finally make 3 subs in the 65th minute and did bring on Isco, who could have been something like a solution to this. But the Mariano thing, I always think about like what ifs and how different somebody's career can be just with a slight decision. Like Sevilla decide to buy him. The dude is scoring 21 goals in Liga 1 for Lyon. He looks fantastic. And Sevilla want to buy him, and Real Madrid are like, oh wait, hold on, we have this clause. Actually, don't buy him. We want to bring him on our bench. Come here, Mariano. It's okay, just come here. Don't go to Sevilla, have a great career. Come here and sit over here. It's nice and cozy over here. Sit here with us. And he just falls off a cliff. And I feel bad.
We gave him the number 7 shirt too.
Yeah. That was the whole thing too. Yeah, and like.
And he scored that banger against Roma, his like first game back or something.
That was a great. I actually was on the bandwagon at that point. I was like, this is a great. Remember like the first like 4 or 5 games into the post Ronaldo era, and it was like actually good. Bale was playing well, Cruz was like unstoppable, and Mariano was scoring goals. It's like it worked. Collective energy, baby.
Yeah.
The Ewing theory. No, I just like, I'm not saying Mariano should start every game or be a Real Madrid starter. I'm just saying, like, I just wish that he could have just enjoyed his career in Lyon, like that. We would have just made peace with that. I feel like he would actually be like a 15 to 20 goal striker if he plays all the time for somebody. Not for us, but for somebody. But anyways, like I do think it's funny. Like I think we had 21 crosses in this game, which is like below our season average. And we always wait. So if Mariano enters the field as a sub, that's when we stop crossing. And if he's on, like, it's just a really weird thing. To Benzema's credit, he's been great in the air, but I just think like it is kind of weird how now, to be fair, also we tried. Vasquez had a couple bad overhit crosses. Mendy had some really nice balls into the box, notably the one to Hugo Duro in the second half. So like it wasn't bad. But Mariano wasn't involved, and I think something could have shifted at halftime, but it ultimately didn't.